Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. What if the only thing standing between you and the life you crave is the way you think? Not your job, not your past, not even your circumstances, just your mindset. Because wealth, real wealth, doesn't start in your bank account. It starts in your belief. This book changed my life, and it might change yours too. I want you to pause everything else you're doing and just listen. Because if you've ever stared at your ceiling late at night, wondering why your life still feels stuck, if you've ever worked hard, prayed harder, and still felt like success was reserved for someone else, then I want to tell you a secret that changed the lives of millionaires, presidents, inventors, and could change yours too. It all started with a question. In 1908, a young journalist named Napoleon Hill sat across from one of the richest men in the world, Andrew Carnegie. Carnegie didn't just want to hand out money. He wanted to hand out principles, the kind of knowledge that could turn an ordinary person into an unstoppable force of wealth and influence. So he challenged Napoleon Hill. Go find out, he said. Go study the most successful people on earth. Find out what they believe, what they do, and how they think. Hill accepted, and he spent 25 years studying over 500 of the most powerful people in history: Thomas Edison, Henry Ford, Alexander Graham Bell, and more. But here's the part that gives me chills every time. After all that research, Hill didn't talk about business plans. He didn't write about stocks or real estate. He wrote about thoughts. He wrote about desire. He wrote about faith, persistence, imagination, things the world often ignores, but the truly wealthy master. He wrote Think and Grow Rich. Now I know what you might be thinking. I've read self-help books before. I've tried changing my life, but nothing sticks. Maybe I'm not meant to be rich. But what if I told you this book wasn't meant to inspire you? It was meant to transform you. You see, Think and Grow Rich isn't a book you just listen to. It's a mirror. It forces you to face the truth that your current results are a reflection of your current thoughts, not your family, not your country, not your education, your thoughts. Let that sink in, because when I first read this book, I was broke, not just financially, but emotionally. I had dreams, big ones, but they felt like distant stars in the sky. I was angry, stuck, confused, and worst of all, I was scared that I'd never break free. But this book made me ask myself one life-changing question. What if I'm the one holding me back? That was the moment everything shifted. I started to write down my goals, not just as wishes, but as burning desires. I started to speak life into myself. I started to act as if the future I wanted already belonged to me. And day by day, step by step, I grew. That's what Hill teaches us. That riches don't come to the one who waits. They come to the one who decides. So, before we dive into these 13 powerful lessons, I want to ask you something personal. Have you decided yet? Not do you want it, but have you decided? Have you decided to break the cycle of struggle, to rewire your thinking, to build a life your future self would thank you for? Because if you haven't, this book might just be background noise. But if you have, then get ready. You're not just listening to an audiobook. You're about to walk through the same mental door that led ordinary men and women to extraordinary wealth. And by the time we're done, you'll know exactly how to think and exactly how to grow rich. Let's begin. Chapter 1. Desire, the starting point of all achievement. Every human who reaches the age of understanding of the purpose of money wishes for it. But wishing will not bring riches. Napoleon Hill. Let me ask you something that might sting a little. How bad do you want it? No, really. How deeply do you want to be free, to be wealthy, to wake up each day knowing that your needs and your dreams are fully paid for? Because here's the truth most people never hear. You don't get rich by wishing. You get rich by deciding. And that decision, that intense, burning, almost obsessive desire, is what Napoleon Hill calls the starting point of all achievement. Not talent, not luck, not education. Desire, the fire that drives everything. Hill shares the story of Edwin C. Barnes, a man who had nothing, no money, no influence, not even a formal education. But what Barnes did have was a fierce desire to go into business with Thomas Edison. Now imagine telling your friends this back in the early 1900s. I'm going to partner with the greatest inventor of our time. They'd laugh in your face. And you know what? Edison probably did too at first, but Barnes didn't care. He didn't come to visit Edison. He didn't come for a job. He came with one intention. I will become his business partner or die trying. That's the level of obsession Hill is talking about. And guess what? Years later, Barnes didn't just work for Edison, he became his partner, and he made a fortune selling one of Edison's greatest inventions. Not because he was smarter, but because he was on fire inside. Desire in 2025. Let's bring this into your world. Look at today's creators, entrepreneurs, and even viral sensations. People like Mr. Beast didn't become YouTube royalty by accident. He spent years studying algorithms, audience retention, thumbnails, obsessing over every single detail before success came. He wasn't just interested. He was possessed by the idea of becoming great. If you want to grow rich in 2025, if you want to break free from paycheck to paycheck living, or launch that idea that's been sitting in your soul, you need to move from maybe to must. You need a goal so strong it keeps you awake at night. 6 steps to turn desire into riches. Napoleon Hill didn't just give ideas, he gave instructions. Here are the 6 exact steps he laid out to transform desire into wealth. Fix in your mind the exact amount of money you desire. Not, I want to be rich. Be specific. Say, I want $100,000 by December 2026. Determine exactly what you intend to give in return. Money comes from value. What will you offer the world? Establish a definite date when you intend to possess the money. Deadlines create urgency. Put it on the calendar. Create a clear plan and begin at once, whether you're ready or not. Action beats perfection. Start messy. Write a clear, concise statement of what you want, when you want it, what you'll give. And your plan. Put your dream on paper. This is your contract with yourself. Read this statement aloud, twice daily, once in the morning, once at night. Feel it, believe it, see yourself already living it. Reflection questions. What is one desire you've been hiding from, doubting, or delaying? Are you just interested, or have you truly decided to go after it? What are you willing to give in exchange for the wealth you want? Because make no mistake, wealth demands a trade. It costs focus, sacrifice, time, sometimes even failure. But the return is freedom. Motivational advice. Here's the most fleeting thing you'll hear today. You don't need to know how right now. The how comes after the decision. The universe doesn't respond to half-hearted wishes. It responds to unshakable faith paired with relentless action. So go ahead, write it down, say it out loud, feel it in your bones, because that dream you've been afraid to fully commit to, it's not crazy, it's not out of reach. It's waiting for you to burn for it. Desire is not a fantasy. It's your future, if you dare to claim it. Chapter 2, Faith. Visualizing and believing in the attainment of desire. Faith is the head chemist of the mind, Napoleon Hill. I want you to picture something right now. Close your eyes, just for a second. Imagine your bank account full. Imagine your phone lighting up with payment received. Imagine walking into your dream apartment. The smell of new furniture, the peace of knowing you made it happen. Feels good, right? Now here's the real question. Do you actually believe it's possible? Because Chapter 1 taught us that desire is the spark, but without faith, that spark never becomes a flame. Faith is what makes you move when everything around you says stop. But here's the catch. Faith doesn't just show up. You have to build it. Programming your mind in 2025. Let's talk about high performers in 2025. From athletes to entrepreneurs, they all share one thing in common. They visualize their success before they see it. Serena Williams doesn't just play tennis. She sees the ball hitting the perfect spot before she swings. Elon Musk doesn't just build companies. He believes in the impossible so deeply that others start believing too. Even content creators on YouTube who rise from zero to millions, they see themselves getting there long before the algorithm notices. So ask yourself, what's the movie playing in your mind every day? Is it one of success, wealth, and confidence? It's the inner voice that whispers, "This is yours," even when the world shouts, "You can't." The invisible force of belief. Napoleon Hill didn't see faith as a religious concept. He saw it as a psychological weapon. He believed that faith is created by repetition of affirmation, which programs your subconscious mind to believe in your success before it even exists. Think of it like this. Your mind is like soil. Whatever you plant there, good or bad, it grows. Plant fear, and you'll harvest doubt. Plant faith, and you'll harvest power. Or is it filled with fear, lack, and rejection? Because your reality will always follow the script you repeat most often. How to build faith, Napoleon Hill's formula. Hill gives us a method so simple, it almost sounds too easy. Autosuggestion, repeating your desires aloud, feeling them emotionally, reprogramming your subconscious. Here's how to do it. Write down your goal. This is what you want. Read it aloud every morning and night. See yourself already living that reality. Attach strong emotion to it. Joy, gratitude, confidence. Do this every single day, no excuses. Because repetition plus emotion equals belief. And belief equals the fuel that powers desire into real wealth. Inner dialogue shift. You have to train your mind to speak life, even when your bank account screams lack. Instead of "I can't," say "I'm learning." Instead of "this won't work," say "this is working for me." If your default thoughts are full of fear and doubt, your results will reflect that. So become your biggest supporter. Speak your success before it shows up. That's not delusion, that's faith. Reflection questions. What thoughts are you repeating daily, and are they serving your future? Do you believe deep down that your dream life is possible for you? If not, what lie have you been told that it's time to unlearn? Motivational advice. Listen closely. If you don't believe in you, who will? Faith doesn't mean you never feel fear. It means you act in spite of it. Start talking to yourself like someone you love. Stop waiting for proof. Be the proof. Your words are creating your world. So speak as if your breakthrough is already here. Because one day, it will be. Chapter 3. Autosuggestion, the medium for influencing the subconscious mind. Through the dominating thoughts, which one permits to remain in the conscious mind, man weaves the pattern of his future. Napoleon Hill. Let me ask you a question. When you talk to yourself, are you speaking life or are you speaking defeat? Because here's something most people never realize. You are always hypnotizing yourself. With every repeated thought, every silent doubt, every "maybe I'm not good enough," you're giving instructions to your subconscious mind. And the scary, or beautiful, truth? It listens. The power of self-suggestion. Napoleon Hill calls it autosuggestion, the bridge between your conscious desire and your subconscious belief. In simple terms, it's the practice of feeding your mind what you want it to believe, until it has no choice but to accept it as truth. Because here's how your brain works. What you say to yourself repeatedly, what you feel deeply, what you visualize clearly, becomes your reality. The mind can't tell the difference between imagination and truth. So if you tell it every day that you're broke, overwhelmed, unlucky, it believes you. But if you tell it again and again, "I am wealthy, I am focused, I am becoming the person who earns $10,000 a month," it believes that too. The power of repetition in 2025. Let's bring this into today's world. You ever notice how TikTok sounds or YouTube catchphrases get stuck in your head? That's autosuggestion at work. Repetition imprints memory and belief. Top influencers know this. That's why they repeat their brand message, their mindset, their vibe, again and again until you believe it too. Now imagine doing that with your own voice. Imagine repeating, "I am building wealth through my creativity. I attract opportunities daily. I have everything I need to succeed." Imagine programming that into your nervous system like your favorite playlist. How different would your life be? The technique. Hill's auto-suggestion formula. Here's how to use it. Starting tonight, write a clear goal, something specific and measurable. I will earn $5,000 monthly by selling my digital products by January 2026. Write it in present tense. I am earning, or I have. Speak as if it's already done. Include what you're giving in return. By providing massive value to my audience. Read it aloud every morning and every night. With emotion, with faith, with belief. Visualize it. Feel the money in your hands. See the success. Hear the applause. Smell the leather seats of your dream car. Repeat it until it becomes you. Because eventually, your mind will stop questioning and start executing. Real life shift. Autosuggestion isn't just a technique. It's a lifestyle. You're either programming yourself with power or being programmed by the noise of the world. Every ad, every comment, every opinion, it all tries to tell you who you are. But this chapter, it gives you the mic. You get to decide the story. Reflection questions. What are the top 3 thoughts you repeat to yourself daily? Are those thoughts helping you or hurting you? What would happen if you became intentional with your self-talk for just 30 days? Motivational advice. You want to change your life? Start here. Start with one sentence. Start with one vision. Start with one moment of faith, repeated until it burns into your soul. Because your subconscious is like a genie. Whatever you tell it, it says, "Your wish is my command." So speak wealth, speak growth, speak the future you deserve, and keep saying it until it becomes real. Chapter 4. Specialized knowledge, personal experiences or observations. General knowledge, no matter how great in quantity, is of but little use in the accumulation of money. Napoleon Hill. Let's get real. Most people were taught that more school equals more success. Get the degree, collect certifications, fill your head with facts. But what if I told you? General knowledge isn't power, it's potential. The real power, the kind that creates wealth, comes from specialized knowledge. Not knowledge that just sounds smart, but knowledge that solves problems. The myth of knowing enough. Napoleon Hill makes a bold claim in this chapter. You don't need to know everything. You just need to know something valuable, deeply. And when you apply that specialized skill with intention, doors start flying open. Think about it. Who gets paid more? A general doctor or a heart surgeon? A social media intern or a YouTube growth strategist? A mechanic who fixes any car or the one who only works on high-performance engines? The money flows to the specialist, not the generalist. 2025 and the rise of micro-experts. Look around today. People are making 6 figures teaching one skill, like how to edit YouTube shorts, how to grow an Etsy store with AI, how to write emotional TTS scripts. Yes, just like this one. How to build niche websites for passive income. These aren't people with PhDs. They're people who picked a lane, mastered it, and showed others how to get results. The world doesn't pay you for what you know. It pays you for what you can deliver. How to use this in your life. You might be wondering, okay, but what's my specialized knowledge? Here's the good news. You already have seeds of it inside you. Ask yourself, what do people constantly ask me for help with? What do I do with ease that others struggle with? What problems have I solved in my own life that I can teach? Your experience is your expertise. Did you heal from a toxic relationship? Did you lose weight naturally? Did you build a side hustle from your phone? That's specialized knowledge. That's value. That's wealth. What to do next? Identify the skill or knowledge you already have or want to learn. Focus on something that solves a real problem for others. Commit to studying and applying it daily. Buy books, take courses, test ideas, fail forward. Surround yourself with others who've mastered it. Learn from mentors, communities, even free content online. Package that knowledge into something that earns. A service, a product, a course, a channel, a business. You don't need to go back to school. You need to go deep, not wide. Reflection questions. What do I know that could be valuable to someone else? Have I been hiding my gifts because I thought they weren't big enough? What one area could I go all in on this year? Motivational advice. Listen, you don't need to be an expert in everything. Just be dangerous in one thing. One skill, mastered, can change your financial destiny. One niche, dominated, can buy your freedom. Stop chasing degrees you don't need. Start investing in the knowledge that pays, because the world doesn't care about how much you know. It cares about what you can do, and trust me, you've got something inside you worth mastering. Now, go sharpen it and share it with the world. Chapter 5. Imagination, the workshop of the mind. Man's only limitation, within reason, lies in his development and use of his imagination. Napoleon Hill. Let's play a game. Right now, I want you to close your eyes and imagine the life you really want. Not the one you've settled for, not the one others expect, but your dream life. What do you see? Is it a beachfront home? A thriving online business? Your parents never having to work again? Freedom to travel, give, create, live? Now, here's the magic. If you can imagine it, you can build it. That's what this chapter is all about. Because as Hill puts it, imagination is the workshop where all plans are created. Every building, every brand, every business was once just a thought, a picture, a vision, a what if. Two types of imagination. Hill breaks it down like this. 1. Synthetic imagination. This is when you take existing ideas and rearrange them into something new. Think remixing, repurposing, repackaging. That's how most inventions are made. They're not always original. They're optimized. Like Airbnb, hotels, apps. Uber, taxis, tech. TTS audiobooks, books, emotion, voice, AI, just like this one. You don't need to invent something completely new. You just need to see what others can't yet. 2. Creative imagination. This is when ideas come from somewhere deeper. Some call it intuition. Some call it downloads. Some say it's divine. It's that voice that whispers, "What if you tried this? What if your life could be different?" That's the imagination that changes lives, turning ideas into income in 2025. In today's world, the people who thrive aren't just workers. They're creators. Think about content creators who build six-figure brands just by sharing ideas. People turning TikTok recipes into cookbooks. Moms turning homeschool tips into million-dollar online courses. Teens selling AI art packs on Gumroad or Etsy. What do they all have in common? They used their imagination. They saw a need. They imagined a solution. And they moved. Hill's message to you. Don't underestimate your ideas. Don't kill them before they breathe. Because inside your imagination is a business, a product, a lifestyle, a future. Your thoughts aren't random. They're blueprints. How to activate your imagination practically. Create white space. Your imagination needs silence to speak. Turn off the noise, put down the phone, go for walks, journal, think, ask empowering questions. Instead of why is life so hard, ask, what can I create today? How can I solve this problem with what I already have? What would my dream life look like in vivid detail? Capture your ideas immediately. Keep a notes app, a journal, or a voice recorder. Inspiration fades fast. Test them, quickly, imperfectly, publicly. Launch before you feel ready. Imagination is useless without action. Reflection questions. What ideas have been nudging at you lately? Are you giving yourself enough space to imagine again? What's one idea you've been too scared to pursue, but keep thinking about? Motivational advice. Here's what I want you to remember. You're not just a worker. You're a creator. You were born to imagine, to invent, to build, to shape the invisible into something that can change lives, starting with your own. The wealth you want doesn't exist yet, but it will if you're brave enough to see it first. So dream loud. Dream without shame. And then chase that dream like your future depends on it, because it does. Chapter 6. Organized Planning, the Crystallization of Desire into Action. You have learned that everything man creates or acquires begins in the form of desire. That desire is taken on the first lap of its journey from the abstract to the concrete, into the workshop of the imagination, where plans for its transition are created and organized. Napoleon Hill. You've dreamed, you've visualized, you've believed. But now it's time for the hard truth. Faith without a plan is just fantasy. Because as beautiful as desire is, and as powerful as imagination can be, nothing happens without a plan. Not a messy random, I'll figure it out someday plan. A clear, intentional, and organized plan, written down, mapped out, and acted upon. This is where most people get stuck. They feel inspired, but they never build the bridge between vision and execution. And so the dream dies, not because it was impossible, but because it was never organized. The power of a practical plan. Napoleon Hill doesn't leave us hanging. He gives us a formula: desire, faith, autosuggestion, imagination, organized planning, action. That's the turning point, the bridge from the inner world to the outer one. And here's what separates winners from wishers. Winners take time to build the plan, then move, even if it's not perfect. Wishers keep waiting for motivation, clarity, or permission. Let me tell you a secret. Clarity doesn't come before the plan. Clarity comes from the plan. Planning in the real world, 2025 style. Look at people who are making moves right now. A side hustler turning their skill into a full-time gig. A content creator building a year-long strategy on Notion or Trello. A fitness coach launching a digital program with a simple Google Sheet. They didn't wait to be ready. They mapped it out. Even something as big as building a YouTube channel. It starts with a content calendar, thumbnail ideas, a list of titles, a posting schedule. That's organized planning. Success doesn't happen by accident. It happens by design. The 6 steps to planning success from Hill. Form a group of people who can help you. A mastermind. Don't do this alone. Find a few people who believe in you. Collaborate. Share goals. Decide what you want to offer. Your product, service, or value. Be clear. Don't try to do 10 things at once. Create a detailed plan, even if it's simple. List the steps. Assign deadlines. Choose your tools. Begin at once, whether you feel ready or not. Most people delay. Don't be most people. Revise as you go. A plan is a living thing. Adapt it. Improve it. Just don't abandon it. Don't quit when you fail. Adjust and keep moving. Failure is feedback. Use it to refine your strategy. Reflection questions. Do I currently have a clear, written plan for my goals? What small steps could I take this week to move closer to my vision? Who can I invite into my journey as part of my mastermind support team? Motivational advice. Let's stop pretending that planning is boring. Planning is power. Planning is freedom. Planning is how you stop surviving and start designing your life. You don't need to plan your whole future today, but you do need to plan your next move. Write it down, break it down, map it out. Take the first step today, because life doesn't reward the dreamer. It rewards the builder, and every builder starts with a plan. Chapter 7. Decision, the mastery of procrastination. Successful people have the habit of making decisions promptly and of changing them slowly, if at all. Napoleon Hill. Let me hit you with something raw and honest. Indecision is poverty. Not just financial poverty, but emotional poverty, mental poverty, opportunity poverty. Because every time you hesitate, every time you say, "I'll think about it," every time you let fear keep you frozen, you lose time. You lose momentum. You lose life. Napoleon Hill studied 500 of the wealthiest, most influential people on earth. You know what he found? They all had one thing in common. They made fast, firm decisions and stuck to them. No endless overthinking. No asking 12 people for their opinion. No waiting for signs from the universe. They decided. Then they moved. The enemy, procrastination, calls it what it is, the silent killer of dreams. And let's be real. We've all felt it. You have a powerful idea, but instead of acting, you scroll. You get excited about your business, then binge watch a show to relax. You promise to start tomorrow, but tomorrow keeps disappearing. Let me tell you something painful but freeing. Procrastination is just fear in disguise. Fear of failure. Fear of judgment. Fear that you're not enough. But the longer you wait, the louder the fear gets. The cure? Decision. Fast decision makers win in 2025. In today's world, attention is currency. Speed is leverage. The people crushing it on platforms like YouTube, TikTok, or Shopify. They don't wait months to launch. They test fast, fail fast, adjust fast. They don't need perfect. They need proof. And the only way to get proof is to act. How to become a decision maker. You don't need to be impulsive. You need to be clear. Here's how. Know what you want. Clarity kills confusion. If you're indecisive, revisit Chapter 1. What's your burning desire? Gather enough info, not all info. Don't wait until you know everything. Make decisions with 70% info and trust your gut on the rest. Cut the committee. Too many opinions equals paralysis. You don't need everyone to agree, just you. Act immediately. Even a small step makes the decision real. Don't wait for confidence. Build it through action. Stick with it. Don't second-guess every move. Commit. Pivot only when you've tested. A hard question. How many opportunities have passed you by because you just couldn't decide? How many times have you said, maybe later, I need to think about it? What if I fail? And what did it cost you? Not just money, but momentum, confidence, growth. Let this chapter be your turning point. Reflection questions. What decision have I been avoiding out of fear? What's one area of life where I need to stop thinking and start moving? If I trusted myself fully, what would I decide right now? Motivational advice. Here's what no one tells you. You don't need more time. You need more decisions. Decide to go all in. Decide to stop delaying your greatness. Decide that fear will no longer hold the pen in your story. Because every moment you delay, someone else is deciding to pass you by. Be bold, be fast, be faithful. Make the decision, and make it now. Your future is waiting on it. Chapter 8. Persistence, the sustained effort necessary to induce faith. Persistence is to the character of man as carbon is to steel. Napoleon Hill. Let me speak straight to your heart. It's not enough to want it. It's not enough to believe in it. It's not even enough to plan it. You have to keep going, especially when it's hard, especially when no one is clacking, especially when results are nowhere in sight. Because here's the uncomfortable truth. Most people don't fail because they weren't good enough. They fail because they quit too soon. Napoleon Hill said it best: riches do not respond to wishes. They respond only to definite plans, backed by definite desires through constant persistence. The brick wall moment. There's a moment in every journey when things get heavy. You've been working. You've been trying. You've been believing. And yet, nothing's working. The money isn't coming. The views are low. The clients are silent. Your energy is running dry. That's the brick wall. And most people, they turn back. But the wealthy, the great, the ones who change their story forever, they keep swinging, even with a dull axe, even in the rain, even when it feels like no one's watching. That's persistence. Overnight success takes 5 years. We see success stories every day. YouTuber goes from broke to millions. Entrepreneur makes 7 figures with one course. But what they don't tell you? Those same people made 200 videos before one blew up, launched 3 failed businesses before one hit, worked 9 to 5s while building dreams from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. Success in 2025 still follows the timeless rule: show up every day, no matter what. 4 enemies of persistence from Hill. Lack of clearly defined purpose. If your why is weak, your persistence will be too. Procrastination. Waiting equals weakening. The longer you delay, the harder it gets. Lack of self-discipline. Without structure, passion burns out fast. Negative influence. Surround yourself with quitters, and you'll quit too. How to build unstoppable persistence. Here's the prescription. Get obsessed with your why, not just surface goals, but the deep, burning reason you refuse to settle. Build habits, not hype. Motivation fades. Systems keep you going. Track progress, not perfection. Celebrate tiny wins. Measure consistency, not results. Create accountability. Tell someone your goals. Join a mastermind. Make it public. When in doubt, go back to the vision. Reread your affirmations. Watch your future in your mind. Reflection questions. What's one goal I gave up on too soon, and why? When things get hard, do I double down or back down? Who can I lean on when my persistence starts to fade? Motivational advice. Listen, you were never meant to break after one setback. You were never meant to give up just because it's taking longer than expected. You are made of more. You are built for pressure. You are built to persist. So even if you feel stuck today, keep going. Even if no one claps, keep going. Even if your voice shakes and your hands tremble, keep going. Because persistence doesn't promise instant results. It promises inevitable ones. Your breakthrough is closer than you think, but only if you refuse to quit. Chapter 9, Power of the Mastermind, the Driving Force. No individual may have great power without availing himself of the mastermind. Napoleon Hill. Let me ask you a deep question. Who's in your ear? When you're tired, when you're doubting yourself, when you're on the edge of quitting, who speaks life into you? Because here's a truth you must understand. You can have the dream, you can have the plan, but if you don't have the right people around you, you will burn out. Napoleon Hill discovered something powerful from the wealthiest minds of his time. They didn't succeed alone. They formed masterminds, intentional alliances of support, strategy, and shared belief. And it made them unstoppable. What is a mastermind? It's not just a group chat. It's not just networking. It's not a fan club. It's a connection of minds that multiplies your power. Hill defines it as coordination of knowledge and effort in a spirit of harmony between 2 or more people for the attainment of a definite purpose. Let that sink in. It's not just about having friends. It's about having aligned allies, people with shared values, big visions, and mutual hunger. Mastermind power in 2025. Think of the biggest creators, entrepreneurs, and tech builders today. They collaborate. They share notes. They hold each other accountable. Whether it's a private Discord server, a Slack channel, or a small circle that Zooms every Friday night, they're not trying to win alone. Even elite athletes have teams behind the scenes. Trainers, mindset coaches, mentors, investors. That's their mastermind. And it's not optional. It's essential. Why this matters for you. Right now, you're trying to grow, trying to build wealth, trying to stay consistent in a world that keeps pulling you in every direction. You need more than motivation. You need momentum. And momentum comes from connection. Someone to say, keep going. You're not crazy. Here's what worked for me. Let's win together. That's the power of a mastermind. How to form your own mastermind. This doesn't need to be fancy, but it does need to be intentional. Here's how to start. Define your goal. What are you building? What do you need support with? Find people who are aligned. They don't need to be ahead of you, just committed like you. Meet regularly. Weekly Zooms, monthly meetups, daily check-ins. Don't lose the rhythm. Share openly. Wins, struggles, ideas, resources. Let your growth be collective. Protect the energy. No ego. No competition. Just progress, power, and purpose. Reflection questions. Who currently pushes me to grow, not just feel good? Do I have at least one person I can brainstorm and build with? Who inspires me so deeply? I want to build a legacy together. Motivational advice. Let go of the lone wolf myth. It's not strong. It's not brave. It's not how success works. Greatness is collaborative. You weren't meant to carry your vision alone. You were meant to build with others who see it too. So reach out, form your circle, find your tribe, create your mastermind, because one idea from the right person can change everything. And together, you go faster, you go further, you go rich. Chapter 10. The Mystery of Sex Transmutation, Turning Energy into Power. When driven by this desire, men develop keenness of imagination, courage, willpower, persistence, and creative ability, unknown to them at other times. Napoleon Hill. Let's talk about something raw, something real. Sexual energy. Now, before you scroll, hear this. Napoleon Hill wasn't talking about lust or pleasure. He was talking about power, creation, drive, and how one of the most primal forces in your body can become one of your greatest weapons for success. Because here's what most people don't know. The same energy that drives you toward physical passion is the same energy that can build businesses, write books, close deals, invent the future. It's all creative energy. You just have to redirect it. What is sex transmutation? It's the process of taking your sexual energy, your drive, your craving, your raw life force, and transmuting it, turning it into something higher, something lasting, something legendary. Think of it like this. Instead of expressing that energy physically, you channel it into your work, your art, your voice, your vision, your empire. That's not suppression. That's transformation. Creative power in 2025. Think about some of the most powerful creators and performers today. Their presence is magnetic. Their confidence is palpable. Their consistency is almost inhuman. That's not just discipline. That's focused energy. They've learned to harness their drive, not be ruled by it. Athletes, CEOs, actors, spiritual leaders, many of them practice forms of sex transmutation, whether they call it that or not. Celibacy during creative seasons, NoFap for mental clarity, redirection of desire into purpose-driven work. It's ancient wisdom, and it still works, now more than ever. Why this matters for you? Let's be honest. How much time and energy have you wasted chasing temporary pleasure? Be real. How many hours spent scrolling, fantasizing, flirting, hooking up, when that same energy could have been used to build? You're not wrong for having that desire. You're human. But what separates greatness from mediocrity is the ability to use that fire, not be consumed by it. How to transmute your energy. Recognize when you feel that urge. Don't run from it. Become aware of it. Pause and redirect. Instead of giving in, ask, how can I channel this into something I'm creating? Engage your imagination. Use the heightened energy to write, speak, plan, record, or build something meaningful. Move your body. Exercise. Walk. Dance. Do something that turns raw energy into motion. Stay connected to purpose. Sexual energy without purpose becomes distraction. With purpose, it becomes pure fuel. Reflection questions. Where has my energy been leaking? And what is it costing me? What could I create if I redirected that fire into my goals? Can I go 30 days using desire as drive instead of just dopamine? Motivational advice. Listen to me. You have unimaginable power inside of you. It's in your bones. It's in your breath. It's in your blood. It's the force that creates life. And if you can learn to direct it, discipline it, own it, you will become unstoppable. Not just focused, not just productive, but explosively creative. Magnetically powerful, unshakably consistent. That hunger you feel, it's not weakness, it's potential. Now go turn it into something legendary. Chapter 11. The subconscious mind, the connecting link. The subconscious mind acts first on the dominating desires which have been mixed with emotional feeling, such as faith. Napoleon Hill. Let me say something that might change how you see your entire life. You are not ruled by your thoughts. You are ruled by the thoughts you repeat with emotion and allow to sink into your subconscious. Your subconscious mind? It's always listening. It's always recording. It's always obeying. It doesn't argue. It doesn't analyze. It simply says, yes, master. And the scary or incredible truth? It's running 95% of your behavior. That means your money habits, your self-worth, your discipline, your confidence, even your success ceiling, all flow from the beliefs hidden deep in your subconscious. What is the subconscious mind? Imagine it like a giant underground machine. It stores everything you've ever seen, felt, heard, or believed. Every trauma, every triumph, every little voice that said, you're not enough, you'll always struggle, people like you don't get rich. And then, based on those beliefs, it quietly steers your decisions. It nudges your emotions. It determines what you feel worthy of. The worst part, you don't even realize it's happening. But Napoleon Hill gives us hope. You can reprogram the subconscious. And when you do, your entire life changes. How to feed the subconscious mind. Hill says it plain. You cannot entirely control your subconscious mind, but you can voluntarily hand over to it any plan, desire, or purpose you wish to be transformed into concrete form. Here's how. Repetition. The subconscious learns through repetition. That's why affirmations matter. That's why writing down your goals every day works. Emotion. Plain words don't sink in. But if you say them with feeling, joy, desire, faith, they get planted deep. Visualization. Your subconscious doesn't know the difference between real and imagined. If you see it clearly, it starts to believe it. Environment. The people and energy around you feed your subconscious constantly. Protect your mind like your bank account. Rewiring in 2025. You've seen people talk about manifestation, neuroplasticity, or subconscious rewiring all over TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram. It's not magic. It's science. Athletes visualize every move. Entrepreneurs write their future vision like it's already done. Creators use affirmation walls, soundtracks, meditations, and goal scripting. They're not playing around. They're programming success. Because once the subconscious accepts something as true, your actions begin to align with that belief effortlessly. Reflection questions. What limiting belief might be buried in my subconscious that's holding me back? Am I feeding my subconscious faith or fear? What's one affirmation I can say daily with emotion and intention? Motivational advice. Here's what I want you to feel in your bones. Your subconscious is not your enemy. It's your engine, and when you learn to feed it with desire, fuel it with faith, and train it with truth, it becomes the most loyal, most powerful servant you'll ever have. So stop telling yourself you're broke. Stop rehearsing your failures. Stop feeding your mind with doubt. Start reprogramming. Start speaking life. Because once your subconscious believes you are wealthy, that you are powerful, that you are ready, your entire world will begin to reflect it. From the inside out. Chapter 12. The Brain, a broadcasting and receiving station for thought. Every human brain is both a broadcasting and receiving station for the vibration of thought. Napoleon Hill. Pause for a second. Have you ever thought about someone and they called you? Ever walked into a room and felt tension without anyone saying a word? Ever been inspired by an idea that seemed to come out of nowhere? That's not coincidence. That's frequency. Because your brain, it's not just a processor. It's a transmitter and a receiver, just like a radio. It sends out signals and it tunes in to others. Your thoughts, they're energy. And just like a radio tower, your brain is constantly vibrating with whatever you're feeling, thinking, believing, and attracting signals that match that frequency. Thinking is transmitting. Every time you repeat a thought, especially one filled with emotion, you're sending a signal out into the world. Think of it like this. Thoughts of gout broadcast more fear. Thoughts of faith broadcast possibility. Thoughts of wealth attract opportunity. Thoughts of lack pull in more scarcity. What you think becomes what you receive. This isn't just spiritual, it's neurological. Hill believed that the brain, through the subconscious and emotion, acts like a magnet for aligned ideas, people, and opportunities. And the better you train your mind to send out focused, powerful signals, the clearer the feedback becomes. How to sharpen your mental frequency. Here's how you can become intentional with your inner broadcast. Monitor your inner dialogue. If you don't like what you're experiencing, change what you're broadcasting. Focus on dominant thoughts. Hill says your brain responds to your dominant vibration. That means the thoughts you hold most often, not just occasionally. Pair thought with emotion. Flat thoughts don't travel far. But thoughts plus emotion equals frequency amplifier. Feed your mind with aligned material. Books, voices, music, conversations. They tune your mental station, protect your mental bandwidth. If you're always tuned in to chaos, don't be surprised when chaos shows up in your life. Vibrational thinking in 2025. Look around. From manifestation coaches to neuroscience-backed habit trainers, people are realizing you don't attract what you want. You attract what you are. Influencers speak their success into existence. Entrepreneurs visualize outcomes before a single sale. Even elite athletes meditate to fine-tune their mental frequency before competition. Why? Because when your inner frequency is aligned with your goals, you stop chasing opportunities and start attracting them. Reflection questions. What frequency am I broadcasting right now? Hope or doubt? Who or what am I tuning into daily? And how is it affecting my thoughts? What would happen if I aligned my dominant thoughts with my dream life for 30 days? Motivational advice. This is bigger than mindset. This is vibration. You are a living signal tower, and the universe is listening. So is your future. So are your opportunities. What are you sending out? Stop saying nothing's working and start tuning into solutions. Stop broadcasting fear and start amplifying faith. Stop thinking like the old version of you and start vibrating like the one you want to become. Because here's the truth. You've always had the power. You just needed to learn how to tune your mind like the masterpiece it is. Chapter 13. The Sixth Sense, the Door to the Temple of Wisdom. The sixth sense defies description. It cannot be described to a person who has not mastered the other principles of this philosophy. Napoleon Hill. Let me start with a whisper, because this chapter isn't about grinding harder. It's not about strategy or routine. It's about something deeper, something you felt before, even if you couldn't explain it. That quiet knowing, that gut instinct, that inner nudge that says, go this way, trust this person. Wait, not yet. Napoleon Hill calls it the sixth sense, the final and most mysterious key to success. He admits he can't fully explain it, but he's clear. It's the doorway to infinite intelligence, the channel where inspired ideas, warnings, and breakthroughs come to you without effort. What is the sixth sense? It's not a superpower. It's not magic. It's not only for spiritual people. The sixth sense is a state of mind, a deep, intuitive connection that forms after you've mastered desire, faith, autosuggestion, imagination, planning, decision, persistence, mastermind, transmutation, subconscious alignment, mental frequency control. When you've trained your mind to operate at a higher level, you open the door to something beyond reason. Suddenly, you know things. You feel answers. You sense truth without needing evidence. Intuition in action. Think of top entrepreneurs who move before the market. Think of artists who create things years before the trend. Think of athletes who make split-second decisions that change the game. That's not just logic. That's intuition. They've mastered their craft, but they've also learned to trust their inner signal. And in today's distracted world, that's a rare superpower. How to strengthen your sixth sense. You don't chase it, you create space for it. Silence the noise. The sixth sense doesn't shout, it whispers. You need stillness to hear it. Try meditation, journaling, walks without your phone. Trust your instincts, small and large. Start with the little things. Turn left instead of right. Call that friend. Say yes when your body lights up with peace. Ask better questions. Before bed or during quiet moments, ask, what do I need to know? Where should I focus? Then listen. Let the answer come. Don't force it. Honor divine nudges, even if they don't make logical sense. If your gut says move, move. Hill's final whisper. Napoleon Hill said that some of his greatest ideas, the kind that shaped this book, the kind that made men rich, came to him through the sixth sense. Not from thinking harder, but from allowing more. He even wrote about having imaginary meetings with his cabinet of historical figures, imagining what Abraham Lincoln or Edison would say to him. Sounds crazy? It worked. Because when your mind is trained, when your heart is open, when your belief is strong, wisdom arrives. Often unannounced, always on time. Reflection questions. When was the last time I felt a deep knowing, and did I follow it? Do I allow enough quiet in my life to hear intuitive whispers? What would it look like to trust my inner guidance, even just 10% more? Motivational advice. You've done the work. You've learned the principles. You've strengthened your desire, belief, and discipline. Now, let it flow. Let wisdom speak. Not from outside, but from within. Because the truth? You've always had access to something deeper, something ancient, something wise. A voice that doesn't yell, but guides. That's the sixth sense, and it's already waiting for you. Just listen. Final reflection and takeaways. It was never just about money. You made it. 13 chapters. 13 keys, and if you really listened, you know by now, Think and Grow Rich is not just a book about getting rich. It's a book about becoming someone powerful enough to receive, hold, and multiply wealth. But let's pause and breathe for a second, because I know this wasn't just information for you. it was transformation. There were moments that hit like lightning, moments that felt like truth you've been waiting your whole life to hear, moments where you probably whispered, "That's me." And now, it's time to reflect, and more importantly, to act. Let's recap the journey. Desire. The fire inside you must become obsession, not just interest. Faith. You must believe in the invisible before it becomes reality. Autosuggestion. Your words create your world. Speak what you seek. Specialized knowledge. Learn what solves problems. Go deep, not wide. Imagination. Your thoughts are blueprints. Your future is drawn in your mind first. Organized planning. Dreams without plans are wishes. Design your breakthrough. Decision. Indecision is the enemy. Your future starts when you choose. Persistence. Show up when it's hard. Again and again. That's the difference. Mastermind. You weren't meant to win alone. Build your circle. Sex transmutation. Redirect your drive into creation. Turn fire into focus. The subconscious mind. Rewire your beliefs. Change the program. Change your life. The brain. Your mind is a magnet. Tune it. Train it. Trust it. The sixth sense. Once you've done the work, let intuition lead. Now ask yourself, what is my definite chief aim? What do I want so badly that I'll burn for it? What belief must I erase from my mind today, forever? Who do I need to become to attract the wealth I say I want? This isn't just a summary. It's a mirror. It's showing you what's been inside you all along. You're not just here to make money. You're here to break cycles. You're here to rebuild your family's future. You're here to reclaim your mind. You're here to stop existing and start creating. One big takeaway. If you remember only one thing from this book, let it be this. Wealth starts in the mind. Before it's in your wallet, before it's in your hands, before it's in your home, it lives in your thoughts. And when you learn to control those thoughts, to plant the right ones, water them with action, and rip out the weeds of fear, doubt, and delay, you will grow rich, not just in money, but in clarity, in purpose, in peace, in power. That's what Hill really meant. Your rich life is waiting. If this audiobook stirred something in you, if it reminded you that you're capable of more, if it whispered, "You still have time," then don't let that feeling fade. Because this moment, it's not the end. It's your invitation to start. So write your desire down tonight. Record your affirmation. Play it daily. Take one bold action now, not later. And most importantly, stay close. This channel was created for people like you. Hungry, hopeful, ready. If you felt something today, don't just scroll away. Like this video, subscribe, and when you're ready for the next audiobook to rewire your life, I'll be right here waiting to help you grow. Because you don't just deserve to dream. You deserve to think and grow rich. Until next time, keep building the life that's been waiting on you.